And welcome in, and we're coming to you with a live segment at this point, just coming off a statewide address from Governor Mike Parson, Missouri Governor Mike Parson, just fresh off the mic here momentarily, issued a release at 5 o'clock here on Friday. Very important news for all Missourians out there. Governor Parson has issued a stay-at-home order effective Monday, April 6th through Friday, April 24th. Very significant news for the state of Missouri, and we'll go right to the release from the governor, Governor Mike Parson, and we've got this in a link as well if you want to go and read it yourself. We've got it in this link as well as our Facebook page, so you can click on that link to read it yourself, but we'll just go ahead and get to the release from Missouri Governor Mike Parson. The director of the Department of Health and Senior Services finding it necessary to protect public health and prevent the further spread of COVID-19 pursuant to the authority granted under Section 192.020 and blah, 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 hereby order the following. Individuals currently residing within the state of Missouri shall avoid leaving their homes or places of residence, and when individuals need to leave their homes or places of residence to work, to access food, prescriptions, healthcare, and other necessities, or to engage in outdoor activity, they should all times practice social distancing. Individuals may also go to and from an individual's place of worship, provided that limitations on social gatherings and social distancing are properly adhered to. And the second note here, any entity that does not employ individuals to perform essential worker functions as set forth in guidance provided by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and shall adhere to the limitations on social gatherings and social distancing set forth in sections 4 and 5 of this order. And entities that do not employ individuals to perform essential worker functions may request a waiver from the limitation on social gatherings as set forth in section 4 of this order, which we'll get to, from the director of the Department of Economic Development, on a form prescribed by the director. For offices and workplaces that remain open, individuals shall practice good hygiene and, where feasible, work from home in order to achieve optimum isolation from COVID-19. And section 3 here, any entity that employs individuals to perform essential worker functions as set forth in section 2 of this order and that is engaged in retail sales to the public shall limit the number of individuals at any particular retail location as follows. The first one, 25% of or less of the entity's authorized fire or building code occupancy as set by local authorities for a retail location with square footage of less than 10,000 square feet. And the second of this one, 10% or less of the entity's authorized fire or building code occupancy as set by local authorities for a retail location with square footage of 10,000 square feet or more. Now to the fourth section here, in accordance with the guidelines from the President and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, known as the CDC, all individuals in the state of Missouri shall avoid social gatherings of more than 10 people. For purposes of this order, social gatherings shall mean any planned or spontaneous event or convening that would bring together more than 10 people in a single space at the same time. On to the fifth section of the guideline here. In accordance with the guidelines from the President and the CDC, every person and business in the state of Missouri shall abide by social distancing requirements, including maintaining 6 feet of space between individuals. This provision shall not apply to family members or individuals performing essential worker functions as set forth in section 2 of this order, whose job duties require contact with other people closer than 6 feet. This provision shall apply in all situations, including but not limited to when customers are standing in line or individuals are using shared indoor or outdoor spaces when outside their residence. In the sixth section here, in accordance with the guidelines from the President and the CDC, schools shall close and remain closed. Notwithstanding section 2 of this order, nothing in this order shall prohibit daycares, child care providers, or schools from providing child care for working families in accordance with CDC guidelines. Further, this order does not prohibit schools from providing food and nutritional services for those children that qualify. School teachers and school staff may enter the building as long as they follow the directives set forth in this order. Further guidance related to the conclusion of the 2019-2020 academic school year will be forthcoming from the governor and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. In the 7th section here, in accordance with the guidelines from the President and the CDC, every person in the state of Missouri shall avoid eating or drinking at restaurants, bars, or food courts, provided, however, that the use of drive-through pickup or delivery options is allowed through the duration of this order. In Section 8, in accordance with the guidelines from the President and the CDC, people shall not visit nursing homes, long-term care facilities, retirement homes, or assisted living homes unless to provide critical assistance. Pursuant to Section 44.101, this order shall not be construed to prohibit or restrict the lawful possession, transfer, sale, transportation, storage, display, or use of firearms or ammunition during the declared state of emergency, subject to the provisions set forth herein. And Section 10, all state office buildings are closed to the public. However, essential state functions shall continue. This provision shall not apply to the state capitol building during meetings or proceedings of the General Assembly. And those are the 10 sections of the order. And there is a conclusion here. This order does not prohibit people from accessing essential services such as grocery stores, gas stations, and banks, or engaging in outdoor recreation, provided that necessary precautions are taken and maintained to reduce the transmission of COVID-19, including observing social gathering and social distancing requirements set forth in Sections 4 and 5 of this order. The more that people reduce their public contact, the sooner COVID-19 will be contained and the sooner the order will expire. Pursuant to Section 192.290, this order shall be observed throughout the state and enforced by all local and state health authorities, provided, however, nothing herein shall limit the right of local authorities to make such further ordinances, rules, regulations, and orders not inconsistent with this order, which may be necessary for the particular locality under the jurisdiction of such local authorities. Local public health authorities are hereby directed to carry out and enforce the provisions of this order by any legal means. This order shall be in effect beginning 12:01 a.m. Monday, April 6th, and shall remain in effect until 11:59 p.m. Friday, April 24th, unless extended by further order of the Director of the Department of Health and Senior Services, with said extensions not to exceed the duration of the effective period of Executive Order 20-02. And that is the order from Governor Mike Parson. That's actually the statement from Randall Williams, the Director of the Health and Senior Services for the state of Missouri. So there you go. You can click on the link to read it for yourself in the link here with the video. Got all that, what I've read there in PDF form there to view online with that link. And pretty significant, folks. Governor Parson has held off on this order for a couple of weeks. Just due to the fact to let time play out and see what goes from the state. We have crossed 2,000 cases of COVID-19 for the state of Missouri, and now up to 19 deaths for the state of Missouri concerning COVID-19. So certainly the cases are increasing, and the death rate also increasing, but certainly not to the extent of the cases increasing. So Governor Parson issuing the stay-at-home order. And we just showed that. If you want to see his address in its entirety, we'll be replaying that. Go to our Facebook timeline. You can watch that from today here, April 3rd. You can see his full address on our timeline, which we had a Facebook Live of. And I just read over the order itself that was just released, and you can click on the link to read it yourself. And really, there's I know Stoddard County, we had an issue. Basically, a lot of this is basically a lot of overlap with the county commission and the County Health Department issuing an order itself for Stoddard County. A lot of overlap with this, but there are some limitations for public locations, particularly retail locations with square footage and how many people you can occupy per square footage. I know the stores will have to abide by this order when it comes to their retail locations. So certainly the grocery store chains, the grocery stores themselves will have to adhere to this, and that could be inconvenient for people wanting to do some grocery shopping. There might be limited amount of people to be able to enter. We'll just see how that plays out, but certainly significant for Missourians to take a look at this, let your friends and family know about it. A lot of these guidelines here, pretty much all of them, have been pretty much recommended by the governor and from the federal government all the way down. It's just they are applying some teeth to this, some enforcement measures. Certainly, when it comes to retail locations for essential services, Governor Parson did announce in his statement in his press briefing that basically the locations that are considered essential that we can still attend, such as grocery stores and such, that is contributing to the spread of COVID-19. So taking extra steps and making extra exceptions for those essential businesses, as they will remain open. There will be further restrictions on those businesses remaining open to help mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 virus. So not a whole lot of change. There was directives about schools being closed, remaining closed, but just some teeth added to this that on top of what we've already seen over the last few weeks. So check out the order yourself. Again, on the link, we've got it on our Facebook timeline. You can check that out. Check the governor's address earlier today here on April 3rd at 5 o'clock. You can watch that for yourself. We did a Facebook Live of that moments ago at 5 o'clock. Check this out. Read it down. We've pretty much been recommended this, a lot of this, but there are a few things that they talked about on top of what we've already been recommended. So there you go. Governor Parson issuing the stay-at-home order that is effective this Monday, midnight, going into Monday, April 6th through the 24th. So it's got some length there, just over 2 weeks into, over 2 weeks. What's that, 18 days? 18 days of the order for the state of Missouri at a stay-at-home order. So be safe out there. Abide by the guidelines. Do the best we can going forward, and hopefully we can get through this quickly as possible for the state of Missouri and for the nation itself. So check out the order, and we'll keep this updated as we go. But that's pretty much in place through the 24th, if not extended down the road. So we're going to wrap it up here, and we appreciate you spending some time with us to go over the order, and stay safe out there, everyone. Take care.